All right, it's Friday. I'm running late. My name is Todd Middlebrooks, and welcome to the Daily Edit. In today's episode, I want to talk about storytelling using photography. So stay tuned. Okay, so really this is not a new concept. I mean, we've all heard the old adage that a picture is worth 1,000 words, right? So a single photograph can kind of tell a story, or at least tell us a lot. But when you put a little forethought into a series of photos, then you can really tell a story. The compelling story arc. It has a beginning and a middle and an end, and you can kind of capture that all in a series of photos, and the way you edit them and assemble them and then share them tells a much broader, much more cohesive story. That's just kind of what I wanted to discuss today. All of the platforms that we're sharing on now have some sort of storytelling method. If it's not actually called a story. I mean, Facebook has stories, Snapchat, Instagram has stories, and now has Reels. These are all ways of telling a story, capturing a sequence of photos or videos that are strung together to create either broad, large stories or little micro stories throughout our day. So just as an example, I want to show you a series of photos. Now, we just this past weekend moved our oldest son into his dorm at Georgia Tech, and throughout the day, I captured various moments, as they happened, to kind of tell the story and pull it all together. Now, none of these photos. Well, I say none. Only a handful of these photos have actually been edited in any way. And certainly none of them, they haven't been put together in any form of story yet, aside from, what I'm sharing here. Let me get right into the photos here. This first photo is after unpacking the car quickly and then staging all of his stuff on the sidewalk. I snapped this photo while my wife and my son were moving their cars to get out of the way. This was prior to moving everything in. So this was kind of like the beginning of the day. We had packed up the car. We unloaded it all on the sidewalk here at the dorm and began to pack it into the room. This is my son and his roommate's door. And this is as we had begun to unpack everything, move it in. These photos kind of tell the story of who was there, what was being done, the work that was going on, the progress that was being made. Actually, there was probably a couple of photos that I could have taken in prior to this where everything that was on that sidewalk had just kind of been dumped into the room, and then we were like, how is this all going to fit before we, started unpacking everything and getting it in its proper place. But again, just, fun moments during the day, progress photos as parts of the room came together and got more situated. A panoramic photo, which in a dorm room doesn't take long to do because this particular room is not that big, but as we said, it's cozy. And then kind of like an after shot, once everything is set up and complete. That's when we got into some of the more posed shots. This particular one does have a little editing and applied. But, proud dad moment and a great way to capture the moment and the day. It was an emotional day, and I knew I wanted to capture it. I mean, he was incredibly, incredibly excited about going to school, about being able to go to school. and this kind of captured, I mean, you could just see the emotion there. And then we got the brothers' photos, some family photos, just moments that were a part of this story, which, in this story, again, this story has been going on a long time. This is just kind of the micro story of the day within the overall larger story of going off to college at a time when not ready for that yet. At a time when things are uncertain. He wasn't sure if classes were going to be in person or if they were going to be virtual, and he really wanted to have that fall college experience. And so, it's exciting to be able to show that in these photos. There's the dorm. We wanted some outdoor shots. This is kind of and again, this could be more of an establishing shot. Once it's put into a sequence of a story, kind of showing, this is the dorm room. And then you could go to the interior shots. This is kind of just a great shot on the sidewalk at campus. Our three boys and our oldest, TJ's his girlfriend in the image there. This photo, let me go full screen on this one. This photo is kind of interesting because it captures kind of the lawn there between the dorm buildings. But I thought this was great. All of the packing material and the trash and everything from the move-ins was kind of piled up there. Again, just showing, there's the family photo. Again, if one picture is worth 1,000 words, then think of the story you can tell with multiple photos. And so I guess the tip here or the point that I want to leave you with is to think about that beforehand. So we knew this was going to be a big deal. We knew that he was excited to move in. We knew it was going to be an emotional day for us as parents and his brothers. And so I kind of wanted to capture that, I probably didn't do the best job, but it was better than snapping a single photo. So I'm able to assemble all those into a story arc, the beginning of the day, the progress on the room, the room completed, and then some shots around campus. So just think about that next time you have an event or just anything that you want to capture. A story could be a wide shot that establishes time and space, a medium shot that brings you in a little closer, and then some very close-up shots that show detail. And that's all that the story may require. Versus, we had a full day there on campus, moving him into a dorm room, which requires a little more capturing. And that was just a small set of photos. So the story may be much larger. Certainly on a vacation, a week-long vacation, there'll be a lot of footage and raw images to capture, to assemble into a story. But keep that in mind when you're capturing, that you want to assemble these into a story that you can walk your viewer through. Multiple angles, multiple cameras, if you can get them. Different perspectives are good. And that'll help walk the viewer through the story from beginning to end. And it's just much more powerful than a single still frame. So that's what I've got. Anyway, have a great weekend. I look forward to seeing you back here next week. Thinking about maybe changing up the time a little on the daily edit. More on that as I think through it. But again, thanks for tuning in. and see you next time.